Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Rides and Rigs. Today we're going to try and get some brakes done on my Camry. I noticed earlier this week they were metal to metal. Of course, with my job I just haven't had time to get to it, so it's Saturday morning. I just got off. I'm going to try and use a different method today that I learned back when I was working on cars for a living. I think it's going to be a little bit faster than the way most people typically do brakes, so I'm going to go ahead and get the car jacked up and get the wheels off, and I'm going to have the parts set out. But just to give you an idea of how quickly we can actually get it done using this different method. Now, it's not going to save, hours, but I still think we're going to be able to get it done pretty quickly. So let's get started and see what we can do. All right, here we go. All right, well, that wasn't too bad. Let's go do the other side and see how that looks. Pull the whole bracket assembly off the slides. That way we don't have to take these bolts loose. Put your bracket on the ground. You can replace this hardware. I prefer OEM hardware, so I'm going to leave that. Clean off our slide bolts here. Take the rotor off. Clean our new rotor. Alright, get a little bit of grease on these slide pins. Doesn't take much. I've seen a lot of these get just covered in grease and actually seal the pins to the bracket and create a vacuum that acts like a stuck caliper. I like to slide it on there first, make sure that it slides nice and smoothly. Then grab your piston tool. Get our bracket back on here. A little bit of grease on the ears of the pads here so that they don't freeze up. Slide these right into the caliper. Grease up our other brake pad. Slides right in. And right back on. And just tighten them up. That's all there is to it. I like to go back with my platinum wrench and double check the bracket bolts. And that should be it. We'll just put the wheels back on, put our tools back, and we should be done. Well, there you go. Now, keep in mind that brakes are a safety thing and it's no competition. Don't aim to do this as quickly as possible because you are taking your own and somebody else's safety in your own hands. You can use these tricks to speed up a little bit if that's something that you want to do. Of course, you should always check your bolts and make sure that everything is properly tightened. And when you do get back in the car, if you haven't done it before, make sure that you step on that brake pedal a handful of times until you feel it get stiff. That way, when you put it in gear and you go to take off, you actually have brakes. There is nothing more rude than jumping in the car after doing a brake job only to find out that there are no brakes when you press the pedal. So make sure you keep that in mind. I really appreciate you guys watching this episode of Rides and Rigs. If you enjoyed this content and would like to see more like it, please hit the subscribe button down below. If you would, leave a like and a comment, maybe even share this with your friends to let me know how I'm doing. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.